Do you want to transform your body and achieve a toned athletic physique? This video is for you. Hey everyone, me Chris, Body Nova Fitness Coach. Today we're going to talk about the difference between getting lean versus getting thin. Now most people don't recognize the difference. They think that they're the same thing. Smaller is smaller, but the devil's in the details. Because you can be thin and still have high body fat. Or you can be big and lean with lower body fat and look better than a thin person with high body fat. So they're not synonymous with each other. Thin and lean don't always go together. We're going to talk about how and why and how you achieve leanness. So again, getting that body fat done is very important, because when you get the body fat, you can see how much fat you're carrying versus how much muscle you're carrying. Now, there are a lot of machines out there that are measuring body water and things like that. Those are kind of lesser, and let me explain to you why. If you were a lean person, extremely lean person, you had no body fat, your body's going to be somewhere around between 65 and 70% water, okay? As you get fatter, your body carries less water because fat does not carry or hold as much water as muscle tissue does. They throw the water into there, they try to use it for hydration levels, which it can be, but at the same time, if you have really high body fat, you're going to have low body water because muscle holds much more water than fat. So it's going to appear low on the test. So you want to worry about your fat pounds, how much fat you're carrying, how much muscle you're carrying, or how much lean body mass you're carrying, and then what's the goal, and then how much fat you can trim to get to that goal, or how much fat you can trim and how much muscle you can gain to get you to that goal or achieve that look that you want. This is an old one of a client, and she killed it. She became basically from regular person, regular housewife to fitness competitor, fitness figure, competitor. So what you're going to see is this is one of her before and afters. This is probably 3 months before her first show. But what you're going to see is, she's taller. She's not a small person. So you're looking at someone right at around 155, 160 pounds on the left, okay? So you can see she is thin, but as you look at her arms, you look at her arms, you can see that there's no shape to her arms. You don't see any of the muscle in her arm. As you look at the waist, you know what I mean? The waist is a little bit bigger. You don't see shape in the waist. You don't see shape in the legs. You don't see shape anywhere. Okay? And she is leaner than most people start off as. Now, as you look over on the right to her after deal, she's not much lighter, but then now you can start to see muscle. And this is not necessarily, she did gain a good amount of muscle, but she still is leaner, even though she is technically thin in both pictures. So, you can see her waist is smaller. You can see muscle in her arms and things like that without necessarily having an excessively large arm. You can see more shape to her legs, her glutes, and things like that, even at the same weight. She's thin in both, but one, she is considerably leaner than the other. And this is kind of the point that I'm trying to drive home with you guys. It's not so much just about weight. It's about the look that you achieve and how you train to do that. So let's get into some of the other things we do to achieve leanness and not thinness. Okay, so one of them is definitely the strength training. The strength training goes a long way, because the strength training helps you build muscle and or at least hold on to your muscle while you're dieting. Most people try to neglect it. They're like, okay, I'm just going to do a whole bunch of cardio. And you want to do a whole bunch of cardio, and they don't do anything to maintain their muscle, or they're just doing food training there, and they're not training in a way to maintain their muscle. And so they eat up their muscle and they eat up their fat. And then the problem that goes with that is the rate at which you control calories. Your basal metabolic rate that is largely controlled by your muscle mass. So you need to preserve your muscle mass with your strength training. And let's take it a step further is if you want to look better, look good, or build shape, or in certain areas, whatever that might be, whether it's your arms, whether it's your legs, glutes, shoulders, whatever. You need to have progressive overload with your strength training. So you don't just start strength training and whatever, if you started with benching 30-pound dumbbells and you just stayed there for the rest of your life, you're always trying to push and find ways to advance, ways to advance, ways to advance. And that doesn't always mean strong, just heavier weights. Sometimes if your goals will look good, you'll do more in less time, which is, or at the same time, which is density. You pack more work into your workout. Have a little more time and attention when you're lifting slower. You're lifting slower and making your muscles work harder to lift the same weight because you're just not powering and blasting through it. You're using super sets and giant sets and things like that, which help prolong how long that muscle has to produce that work. So there's a lot of techniques in there. If you want me to get more into them, shoot me a message or comment below. Your nutrition plays a huge role because most people think it's just about calories or I can just do this better and not eat. Well, again, the body is this complex fine-tuned machine. It's just not, is it there or if it's not, so if you do too much, if you try to cut calories too much, your body will slow down its metabolism, making it harder for you to lose weight or get lean. Okay. So you want to get your nutrition dialed in because it's going to play a big role. Because if you're trying to get lean or thin, or if you need to lose weight, to achieve leanness, it's still about calories in versus calories out. Are you eating more calories than you need? Are you eating more calories than you burn? Then that's going to become a much more difficult task. Okay. So in addition to being about the calories, it's about the macros. And most people won't tell you this, or most people don't understand this because they don't understand how this plays a role. Okay. Calories drive the results. The macros make you look good. Okay. So you have the calories right. So you cut your calories to 2,000 calories, but where's your protein intake at? Is your protein intake at a gram per pound? Or at least a gram per pound of lean body mass? If it's not, you might have trouble. Even if you lose the weight, you're going to lose your muscle. So you might get thin, but still have high body fat instead of looking great and being lean. Okay, so remember, calories drive the result. Macros make you look good. If you need help with this, definitely shoot me an email or maybe have me write a program for you. I can get you set off on the right path. Cardio is a tool. Your cardio is a tool because your cardio could help you burn more calories. Okay, it can help your endurance so you can endure longer workouts. Or if you're trying to drive that leanness, sometimes shorter rest periods plays a role. Your cardio will play a role in that. But there's two different ways to do that. One, you don't want to just use your cardio to drive all the results because you're not doing anything to preserve your muscle. Okay, so you can do long, slow, continuous cardio like the people who just sit on the treadmill and walk. And that's great. That burns calories at a very slow rate. Okay, you will burn at lower intensities and slower rates. You will burn a higher percentage of those calories from fat. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. On the other side, there's the HIIT. Okay, high intensity interval training, where you're working at high intensities and you're burning calories at a very high rate, or a very fast rate. Even though you will burn a higher percentage of your calories from fat with the long, slow, continuous cardio, with the high intensity stuff, you're going to burn more calories and you're going to burn more calories from fat. That's going to be good. That's great also because you could make use of the time, better use of the time that you have. You can be very efficient with your fat burning and your calorie burning process. Also, HIIT is also pretty good at helping you preserve the muscle there. So you might not build so much, but you'll be great at preserving. But the problem is because it's intense and it's demanding, you can only recover for so many sessions of HIIT at a time per week. So, you're going to have some HIIT, workouts, and maybe you just have some long, slow, continuous aerobics, but they both contribute to your overall fat loss. Again, it's fat loss, not just weight loss. So again, if it's about looking great or looking as great as possible, it's not just about thinness. It's also about leanness, being lean. Okay, so and there's a bunch of different ways to get there. You can get there strictly by just losing the body fat and getting lean. But if you want to build shape and look good and bring up areas that may be small or maybe lagging, or your target weight to get that leanness or target leanness would have you at too low a weight, then you also want to build some muscle, okay, or at least make sure you preserve the muscle. So you build the muscle. You can training in phases or periodized approach to your resistance training. Okay, sometimes I have people go so far into weight loss, maybe 3 months into weight loss, take a month off, month to 6 weeks off, and you do a body recon, which you're trying to also build muscle when you're burning fat. Gives you a change of pace and allows you to pivot for your original programming. So when you go back to it, you come back stronger and bigger, leaner, and stronger. So it's all about building and building and building upon what you have, so you can get to where you want to be. But again, it's not just about being thin. It's also about lean. So we have to take care on how we get there.